While the Maastricht Treaty was ratified in 1992, it wasn't until November 1993 that the treaty itself finally came into force, amid much fanfare and furore. Even at the time, much of the paperwork was difficult to fathom. Maastricht was the birthplace of the EU, a framework which went well beyond the original design of the former European Economic Community. The new treaty established three basic pillars: a stronger bloc, new powers for foreign and security policies, as well as better cooperation in justice and criminal affairs. As you can see, this copy of the Maastricht Treaty has been drafted in the 9 official tongues of the 12 founding member states of the European Union. But really, it wasn't a language barrier that was the problem, but rather the complicated legal jargon contained within it. And that meant it was quite difficult to get everybody on the same page. Countries like Denmark and the UK negotiated major concessions which still apply to this day, the biggest being exemption from the new single currency, the euro, the most ambitious part of the plan. Revisions to the treaty followed in Amsterdam, Nice and Lisbon, and they all created a bigger market for the free movement of goods and labour, the original purpose of the EU. One company that owes its roots to Maastricht is Xilloc Medical. It's a start-up based in the city and specialises in 3D printed body parts. Techniques like these have revolutionised the art of reconstructive surgery. Take, for instance, this patient who had to have a large section of their skull removed after a brain injury. Within 48 hours, the replacement Xilloc part was ready to be fitted, and research like this, of course, just wouldn't be possible without funding from the EU.
I think science is one of the driving forces behind the economy globally. So I think for the European Commission, it's really important to keep on investing in that, because that will create future entrepreneurs, that create growth, that create more employment, that create more innovation. So it's like a snowball rolling down the hill, but you need to keep on feeding it snow, because else it will not grow.
Michael was only 8 when the Maastricht Treaty was ratified, but it's provided his fledgling business with the keys to a marketplace which once seemed unimaginable in scale.
I think if I look into the full chain of creating Xilloc, 2 parts of that were European projects, and I think when they would never have been initiated, this idea might have never really become a thesis project, and via not becoming a thesis project, it will never have become a company. So in a sense, it definitely makes sense to have European projects.
More Europe or less Europe? Which one would you prefer?
I prefer more Europe.
Why?
I think nowadays new generations are like world citizens, so it's very important to act as one, as being Europe, especially regulation-wise. I think regulation should not be implemented per country, but like on a larger base in Europe. So it's more easy to do business internationally towards other countries.
So as Maastricht turns 20, there's still room for greater European unity for companies like Xilloc.